Hello, 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 hello. This is Mr. Rouse. I'm back to teach you lesson 1.5. And I'll be 100% honest, this isn't the easiest lesson in the world, so be aware. Now, you're seeing these counting cubes here. I've never used them until I became a teacher, but they love you to use them in math, just so you know. Now, these all represent your ones, your tens, your hundreds, your thousands. Now, what they're going to do, this lesson gets tricky because they're going to say, okay, oops, I put the comma in the wrong spot. There's 1,200. Okay, and I say, this says 1,247. Just be aware of, ignore this number right here. And that was just to show you what those represent. Each one of these squares represent 100. So these represent 1,000, that's a 10, and each one of these is a 1. Okay, so if I have the number down here, 1,200, it wants to know how many hundreds pieces would I use. Okay, and how many hundreds would there be? That's what we're trying to figure out. Now, this is the key to this. We're going to look at how many hundreds. So if I've got the number 100, how many zeros are in the number 100? I know there are 2 zeros. Okay, so the shortcut way of doing this is I'm going to remove those 2 zeros, and that would let me know how many hundreds. So it is 12 hundreds. It's trying to teach the kids instead of saying 1,200, they could recognize the number as 1,200. So another example of this, if I have it says 760 hundreds, and it wants to know how, it wants you to write 760 hundreds. Well, once again, if I look at the number 100, how many zeros are in that number? I know there's 2, so I'm going to take 760, and I'm just going to add 2 zeros. So my number is 76,000. I know that because over here, if they want the number 100, there's 2 zeros in 100. Okay, so, but let's say they want tens, and we got 805 tens. And they're saying, now, show me the number 10. I want to know how much is 805 tens. Well, how many zeros are in a 10? There is 1 zero, right? So I'm just going to write that number down and add 1 zero. So I have 8,050. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo-hoo! Okay, if I want 36 10,000s. Okay, so I'm going to bring down my 36. Now I got to figure out how many zeros are in 10,000. There is 1, 2, 3, 4. So there is 4. So I'm just going to add, and actually, let's not put a comma until I'm done, because I might not have it right. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4. So the number then becomes 360,000. Now, they do the opposite with this lesson too. Okay, they're going to say, I have the number 680. I want to know that equals how many tens. So if they're doing the opposite, remember, if the student needs to, just write down that number. How many zeros are there? There is 1 zero in 10, so I'm going to get rid of that 1 zero, and now it's 68 tens. Now, let's say you have the number 24,800, and they want to know how many hundreds. Okay, if I need to know, there's 100, there are 2 zeros in 100. And I'm sorry, let me rewrite this 0 at the end, because that would look really bad. That one doesn't look much better, but you get the idea. So if there's 2 zeros, I'm going to get rid of 2 zeros. So there is 248 hundreds and 24,800. I mean, that's really all we're doing in this lesson. You're either going to add the hundreds or you're going to take it away. If it looks like this and it's saying blank tens or blank thousands, you're going to take away. If it says 805 tens, it wants you to add the amount of tens. I hope that makes sense. This lesson can get a little crazy, but that's all you're doing. So this is lesson 1.5. Get ready for Mr. Rouse to teach. Oh, I can't even write a 6. Get ready for Mr. Rouse to teach 1.6. Thank you. Come again.